Okay, it is finally time to test out some different shocks on this 2021 Permobil F3 that I got. I originally discovered that I think other things would fit probably, gosh, 6-8 months ago now? Time flies. But anyways, today's going to be what I call a repair vlog. It's not an instructional video necessarily, although you will learn how to change the shocks on the chair, but I'm learning at the same time. So if you're looking to just skip right to swapping shocks and you don't want all the extra talking and blathering and whatever, well, probably not the video for you. I do have time codes down below, and those will integrate with YouTube chapters, so I'll try the best I can to sort of put markers in different spots on the video so you can skip right to specific information or areas. But yeah, we're just basically learning this together. I've got the camera, and yeah, let's see how it goes. By the way, the warehouse has these white walls, and the lighting in there makes it, I found out, extremely difficult to film things in. So I'm gonna have to paint the walls in that place or do something, but I tried as best I could. I think everything's pretty visible. But anyways, come along for the journey. So many YouTube phrases. Anyways, let's see what we can do here and find out if this is something you want to do to your chair or not. Hey, how's it going? So we're on the floor in the warehouse today, and I've got the F3 here. What we're gonna finally do is see if we can retrofit some different shocks onto the front of this chair. Originally when I bought this thing, I wanted to get an F5, but for assorted reasons, I ended up getting an F3 instead. But I made some measurements and talked to a few people I know, and I think the F5 shocks will fit on an F3. And then I got to thinking, I've got these ones here. These are brand new from an old C500. But the cool thing with these is they have adjustable rebound, and these are hydraulic. So the shocks on F3s are like air or nitrogen filled or something like that. But the 5 Series chairs have hydraulically dampened shocks. So in theory, we should be able to get the same ride quality on a 3 Series chair as a 5 Series chair. But I did some looking around, and all the 5 Series shocks on eBay, they had like over 1,000 miles on them, and I don't know, I think these might be a better option. I've already done some preliminary measurements, and even if we just set these right on top here, you can see that the bolt holes pretty much line up. And if we flip this thing, let's see, I think this direction. Yeah, if we put it on here this direction, there's a little cutout right here. It's gonna be tight, but we should be able to access this just fine. And worst case scenario, I think we might be able to turn this around so that the adjustment valve's up there. But anyways, we're gonna take these plastics off and see if we can figure out if this is gonna be something that's viable or not. This chair is pretty dirty right now. I've been doing a lot of running around. But anyways, I'm gonna work on getting these plastics off. As I recall, there's a bunch of plastic fasteners and some Velcro, but it reminded me of being slightly annoying, so I'm gonna do a little bit of screwing around and then I'll be back. I apologize for the lighting here with all these white walls everywhere. It makes it a little bit tricky. So we had one of these little panel plugs that removes. You pull this out part way and it comes out. And I think this section is just held on with these little grommets. So if I put my finger around the back, I think, yeah, we can just kind of pull these off, roughly. They don't really have a service manual that I've been able to find yet on these newer chairs. So I'm not 100% sure of the process here. I've got one of these panel removal tools. And there's some Velcro on the fender. There we are. Yeah, so there's 4 of these little things. They basically push into these little grommets. Oh, did one of them break? Oh, okay, so these things, there are 3 little pins sticking up, and then there's sort of a centerpiece that goes in there. There's actually one of them stuck in right there. Yeah, let's pull the wheel off of this, and then we can get a little bit better access to things, I think. By the way, thank you again to the person that sent me this extra toolkit. It's nice having that out here at the warehouse now, and I don't have to worry about taking my tools back and forth between the bus and here. Now, for those of you that think it's funny that I'm Voiding my warranty. Let me just make it clear, I don't care. I'm doing this so you don't have to. That way we can figure out if it works, and if you want to do your own swapping, you can. So this piece of plastic is all one piece, and there's a random fastener right down here. So this is pretty similar to the M3 that I took apart not too long ago. So we need to pull out this, I believe, and the one that's down here. Or no, maybe it was the, yeah, I think it was my 2017 F3 we took apart that was pretty similar. Yeah, see there's a little Allen cap fastener down there. Yeah, there's a couple of hooks right here that kind of pulls up and off of. There we go. You can see those two little plastic forks there. And then this part, I think there's Velcro. Yeah, and then this just kind of comes off. And there's that. Now we have access to our shock. I've got the air compressor right there, but I don't have the hose for it, or the fittings. I should probably just buy some new ones. But yeah, you can see we got our two shocks here, and pretty sure these are gonna be pretty close to a direct fit. So that's pretty much in line. Might be a couple mil longer, but I'm not too worried about that. What is our travel distance here? So we've got a rubber stopper up here. It looks like our travel distance might be ever so slightly less. But let's go ahead and pull this one off of here and see if we can fit that up. Yeah, they're the same size as the wheel bolts. Excellent. And I think this is threaded. Yeah, there's no nuts on the back. So I'm gonna hold up this front part with my hand here. So I'm anticipating that might drop a little bit. And we've got wiring here for our lights and stuff. I don't wanna, actually that just unclips. Wait, does it? Yeah, I don't wanna stretch that wiring. I'll just be careful. Oh, actually it stops right there, cool. So we've got a long bolt with some Loctite, and then looks like a little bushing that goes through the shock. And then same arrangement for the back. Just a bolt with a washer and a little bushing that goes through. So I'm gonna set these down over here. I don't know what the hole size is for the bolts. These are a little bit smaller, but hopefully there's some bushings we can remove or something. Yeah, so looks like our inner diameters might be the same, but we've got a little bushing or something in there. Let me see if I can prise this out of here. Oh yeah, those come right off. So there's that. It looks like they've got sort of a plastic or some sort of spacer in there, maybe. They don't want to move by hand. Let's see here, right tool for the job. Oh yeah, they're starting to move. Yeah, so it looks like this will come out of here. Give me a few minutes, I'm going to screw around with this, I'll be back. Okay, what I'm going to do here, I've got sort of a kind of a puller arrangement set up. So we've got a socket here and a washer. Got a really long bolt. I'm going to drop that through here. And that fits over the top of this. Then we're going to put this nut on the bottom here and turn this bolt and see if we can pull that out. Now, this is a Phillips bolt. It's the only one I had that was small enough to fit through here. So we'll see what actually happens. Now, if I had a press or even a vise or something here, it would obviously be a lot better than what I'm doing. Or even not a Phillips bolt. Now's the point where we find out if we've permanently installed this in our socket or not. Oh, no, we haven't. Sweet. Yeah, as you can see, we've got a little plastic bushing or something on here. All these pieces are definitely press fit. Okay, very much work, but we have our bushing in there now. So I'm going to work on this for a while. It's going to take a lot of screwing around, and then I'll come back when we're ready to try fitting it on the chair. Okay, success. I wound up using a slide hammer to remove the spacer from the other side. It worked a lot better and that plastic piece stayed in there. So we're ready to install. Let's grab our little bushings here. There we go. Should be able to just slot this right in here. Okay, I'm not sure about you, but I think this was designed to go in here. Look, there's a cutout on the plastic right here where the rebound control is. It fits in here perfectly. There's all the same clearances everywhere. Cool. I'm not sure what the ride quality is going to be like yet. If you look at this one, you can see there's almost no threads left on this end. That's about maybe 2 turns away from where the tension point goes away so that the spring is just loose in here. On these ones, that point is all the way back here. If I loosen this anymore, that spring is just going to be flopping around in there. So it'll be interesting to see. Now the C500 was a pretty heavy chair, and so is this. I think they might be similar, but it'll be interesting to see if our compression here and the travel is going to be acceptable on this chair or not. All right, we're working on the other side now. I decided we're going to put both of them on and see how it works. Interesting note, however, I think I was taking this apart incorrectly. So you pull this pin out of here and then leave the rest of it alone. Then you want to remove the 2 pins, the one here and the one underneath. That one's usually not super tight and there's no washer on it. It's just kind of a locating pin. In theory, you could flex the plastic around it, but I don't want to break this stuff since I'm sure it can only be removed so many times before it doesn't want to come off anymore. Now, we got some Velcro right here. We can separate that. Our fender is around those 2 pins, so you just kind of worry this up and out of the way. Trying to keep this all in frame here. There we go, fender comes off. And then this entire piece, oh, one screw up here. This guy right here, it was missing on the other side. I'm gonna have to figure out where I put that. There we go. And then this entire piece will come off. Now you have access to all these little plugs on the back. Because like I said before, the way these are supposed to work, there's these little tiny plastic pips that are supposed to go in there. The plastics need to be pushed through before these little plastic spacers go in. But honestly, I don't need to remove them at all now. So now that these are off, I guess I can show you on the other side real quick how it should go back together. Well, that needs to be cleaned up a little bit. Hang on. All right, Lysol wipes to the rescue. Now on this side, you can see here, we've got one of these little pins that is stuck in there. So I'm going to remove that. I'm just gonna push that through here from the back. There we go. Got the other one right here. And then on this piece, it's still in here. Oh, that just flew right off. And then same here. Just kind of pull it out of there. Let me zoom in so you can see this. There we go. And just kind of use your fingernails, and there you can see this little tiny piece just comes out. So now we can take this and push it through all of the rubber grommets. It should go through fairly easily. Just line them all up and gently push them through. There we go. Now you can see here all these little things are pushed through the grommets. Now we need to take these little itty bitty things and stuff them in between the little plastic legs like that. Then we just push them down and they should click into place. What that does is spread those fingers apart and hold it in here a little bit firmer. Still kind of a strange choice in my opinion for attaching something on a side of a large piece of heavy equipment that's super expensive, but hey, you know, I guess that's what we get. One of the things I'm not too fond about. But I suppose if you're disassembling this correctly, like I was not doing earlier, it's a little bit more difficult. Okay, we got all 4 of those in there now. The other thing I don't like is this is your main fender. And we've got two pieces of plastic basically laying on top of each other. So as you can see, all the dirt and filth gets in there between these two layers of plastic. Now, how are you supposed to clean that? Yeah. Anyways, this is one of those things where I might like to go to a machine shop or something and see if I can get this not cast, but like made out of diamond plate. There's some pretty compound curves and stuff here. I don't think those are 100% necessary. I think we could do that with like, 20 and 45 degree bends and everything. But yeah, oh, here, you can see. Look at this real close. Let's see if I can line this up. There we go. You can see daylight through this piece right here. But on this side, now that it's all full of dirt, no daylight. So, I don't know. One of my gripes, I guess. But at least now we know this whole piece comes off relatively easily. And we don't have to worry about these little plugs or whatever. Okay, back to the chair. Oh, that's right. I'm just going to do this side, and then I'll show you once it's done and give you my thoughts. It's going to be the same as the other side. And, yeah, something. So, I'll be right back. I just realized something. These spacers are different thicknesses. I need to double check the other side and make sure I did this correctly. See how we've got different thicknesses? I think this front one sticks out further than the back. So we're gonna need to check that on the other side. Hopefully I did that correctly. Putting this on wrong can put a lot of stress on these shocks and screw stuff up. But yeah, it seems like the thinner one goes on the front. Let me double check the other side. Yep, I put the other side on backwards, so the shock is in there at kind of a funky angle. So I'll have to take that back apart and fix it. But interesting note, I'm glad I noticed that. You can see our height here and our height here. Huh, all right, well, cool. It's not gonna hurt anything for the few minutes I've had it on there, but if I was to leave that on there for extended periods, it puts a lot of load on all the pivot points and the shock and everything. So, yeah, good save. And by the way, here's what the front hubs look like on these things. Looks like they've made some changes. I can't tell what the size of the motor output shaft is, but this hub is significantly beefier than they were on previous versions. Is the chair on? Let me turn off the chair. Yeah, these are significantly beefier than they were previously. And we've got a little stabilizing bushing on here. This washer is friggin' huge. Got some tapered edges on it. Got a little warning sticker over it here. What is this? I'm assuming it's like an Allen cap bolt or something maybe. Let's get this little sticker off. Oh, wow. Yeah, so they beefed that up pretty good. Interesting. So yeah, it's kind of nice to see improvements like this on things over time. Yeah, that's pretty solid. I mean, the other ones weren't necessarily weak, but this is really, did I say beefy? Beefcake!
Sweet, check me out. Such a beefcake I can't even get through the door.
Okay, I'm gonna get the rest of this cleaned up, put the wheels back on, and then, should I put the plastics on? Yeah, I guess I might as well put the plastics back on. I don't think there's a reason I'm gonna take these out of here today, or soon. But seriously, look, how is it that they designed this chair with the perfect cutout right here for this rebound control? I don't know. I'm pretty sure that someone was thinking about these when they built this chair. Oh, interesting note, however. Adjusting the tension on these is a little different. You need to get a spanner wrench or something and turn these. As you can see, this one's pretty loose. But on the shocks that came on this, they have these little divots. I did another video about how to adjust these. But interesting note, if you do use these C500 ones, adjusting these are going to be a little bit more difficult. And yeah, actually, I'm going to leave the plastics off for now, put the wheels back on, run around a bit, try and get them adjusted. And yeah, we'll go from there. So I will be back in a minute and we will test these out. Okay, I think we're done. Just running around here in the warehouse a little bit, I can tell the ride quality is a lot softer and a lot more floating. I've got the rebound controls closed all the way, and I backed them off 4 clicks. Or was it 5? I don't remember. But I found about the minimum you can set for, let's see, can I brighten this up? But I've got 7 threads on each side, and that's about the minimum you can do before the spring starts getting loose enough that I think it's going to cause problems. But I've got them installed on both sides. I've got things cleaned up a bit, and I think we're good to go. Oh, and I got the spacers changed as well. I actually wound up reviewing the footage just to make sure that the thinner little bushings go on the front as opposed to the back. But when you look at it, you can kind of tell. But yeah, I think this is a pretty cool mod. I still can't believe that plastic clears just perfectly. Now, if we wanted to do this on the back, I think it would be a little bit more tricky because we don't really have room for that rebound control to stick up through there anywhere. So I think what I might do is try to get some F5 shocks for the back. They won't be adjustable, but at least I'll have the oil dampened ones. And then we should have, honestly, probably better ride quality. I don't know if the 5 Series chairs have better shocks than the old C500s did or not, but yeah, I like this. And being able to adjust that's pretty cool. Oh, I noticed one other thing too. I don't know if I can show this. It's a little dark down there, but I noticed that there is a cable raceway. So the wires come from the motor and they go through this little raceway and up here and back into where the power module is. So it's kind of cool to have this little sealed, well, sort of sealed. If you go through water that's too deep, it's entirely possible to get water in there, but it is pointed downhill. But it's kind of cool that that's protected. The older chairs, I think the M3 that I took apart before, those wires were just kind of clamped and hanging out. So kind of cool to see that. Yeah, anyways, well, I'm going to clean up the plastics and I think we're going to put them back on here. Awesome. I'm super happy with this. Actually, now that I'm looking at this, if I made a little plastic piece, like a plate, or metal or even plastic that just covered up these 2 joints right here, or better yet, even a C-channel fender thing that goes in here, I think it'd be really handy to keep all the dirt and stuff from going in there, because this is just impossible to clean. All right, well, we've successfully installed the shocks on this chair. I haven't gone outside yet or really tested it too much, but I can tell just with the concrete joints in here that it's significantly better. I adjusted both the shocks about as loose as they can safely go, and I'll have to play around with the rebound control. But anyways, about to do the live stream here in a few minutes, so I'm gonna play around with this later tonight and probably film the conclusion of this tomorrow. But where I live, there's a lot of gravel and stuff, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So really happy that they fit, and it wasn't too much of a production. Okay, so it's been about a day or so, and these front shocks are working really well. I'm here at the Power Soccer practice place right now, and they've got some thick rubber mats going inside and also some thresholds going through the automatic doors. Significantly better in this chair with these shocks on it. So I don't know if I'm saying to run out and go buy some and install them yourself, but it's definitely an option if you want a little bit better ride quality. There's like a bug in my eye or something. They're a little bit hard to film down in there. I was thinking maybe I could run around on some bumps or something and show them in action. But, well, here, I'll go down the ramp and let's see if we can see anything. Well, I'm not really sure if that showed anything or not, but anyways, yeah, I think they're significantly better. All right, time to go play some power soccer. I don't know what it is with this giant curtain and this ball always getting stuck. All right, well, at this point, I think I can definitively say that the C500 shocks are significantly better than what the F3 came with originally. I think just the difference between oil dampening and gas or air dampening and also having adjustable rebound makes a huge difference. I wound up dialing it down so that, well, basically I closed the rebound valves all the way and then backed them off 5 clicks. And that seems to be perfect. Now, I can't say it's the best suspension in the world, but for this chair, it is definitely better than I have experienced. I think I'm gonna go ahead and order some of the F5 shocks for the rear because I can tell when I hit a bump with the front tires, it's nice and smooth, and then it's a little bit more abrupt on the back. The rear ones are not gonna be adjustable, but still having the fluid or oil dampened shocks I think should be a lot better. So I'm gonna try and find a set of those. I don't really wanna spend $100 because typically they only sell them in sets of 4, but I don't know. I think it's a great mod. I like it a lot.